Hi, I'm Robert Estrin here at livingpianos.com. The subject today is what is the right size piano for you? Well, there's actually two things involved. Basically, the volume of air in the room and the acoustic properties. All things being equal, bigger is better with pianos because of the richness of the tone. Plus, if you're a serious player and you are playing out in concert, you probably are playing on 7 and 9 foot pianos. It's always easier to go to smaller pianos than to larger pianos. So if you're a serious player, you want the biggest piano possible. Now, for example, I have a 9-foot concert grand I practice on, and here at the loft, I have an enormous room with 20-foot ceilings, and it's glorious. But you know, before I lived here, I had a house. I had it in the biggest room in the house with vaulted ceilings, and yet, if you looked inside my piano, I sadly had to have a pair of earplugs because if I did intensive practice, I could do ear damage because of the sheer volume of that piano. Here, I don't have that problem. So, you don't want to overwhelm the space with too much volume, yet you want to have the biggest piano you can. Also, if you have a piano that's too small for a space, you'll tend to pound it to get enough sound, and you'll actually age the piano prematurely. I've seen this happen in churches and schools where the piano is undersized and it gets destroyed, people trying to get enough volume out of it. So how do you know what size is appropriate for your space? There are basically two considerations: the amount of air volume and how much reflective surfaces you have. If you have a smaller room, but you have 20-foot ceilings or something of that nature, there's actually a tremendous amount of air, and you probably could have a larger piano than you may think. The acoustics also play a big part because if you have a room with carpeting, drapes, and cushy furniture, that's going to absorb the sound compared to hardwood or slate floors and such, and big windows. So if you just simply clap your hands in your room and see how much reflection you get, if the sound of your voice is enhanced like singing in the shower, you know you have a loud room and you might be able to get by with a smaller piano. Now, if you have a live room and you want the sound of a big piano because of the richness of the bass and such, you can try putting a rug under the piano because remember, half the sound comes under a grand piano from the soundboard. So try to match the acoustics of the room to the size of the piano by listening to the sound you get. For specifics, feel free to contact me, Robert Estrin at livingpianos.com, and I'm happy to make suggestions for you on your piano. Thanks for joining me, Robert Estrin here at livingpianos.com.